Hello everyone, it's Jennifer and thank you for joining me. Today we are going to be using a bead strand from Jesse James Beads, and I'm going to connect it together. We're going to make some wire wrap loops, and I'm going to use some 20 gauge wire, and this is gold silver plated Craftwire in 20 gauge from Softlex. I already made one bracelet using the peachy pink bead strand from Jesse James Beads, and I just kind of did a little bit of a random-ish design using some quick links that I got from Beadalon, and made a couple of dangles. And I recorded this, but I wasn't really happy with the quality of the video, and there was a lot of outside noise going on, so I wanted to also make this with a gold tone. And so I'm going to go ahead and use this 2023 Pantone Bead Strand, and this is in Perennial Blue, or Blue Perennial. Blue Perennial. But I'm going to go ahead and put a link in the description for this bead strand for you. I'm going to use this 20 gauge craft wire. I have a couple of head pins so that I can make some dangles on the end. I have a lobster clasp from my stash. Then I'm going to be closing this with a closed jump ring, and I have these jump rings from Softlex, and then we're going to use a open jump ring for the clasp. So I'm going to go ahead and get one of those out now. And what I want to do is, since I don't want to get it mixed up of which one's open and which one's closed, is I'm going to take my lobster clasp that I've already made sure that it is functional, and I'm going to go ahead and just put that closed jump ring on there. So that is just, there's your tip of the day. Because with these jump rings that I got from Softlex, I've had them for a while. With the open jump rings, you cannot see the seam. It's really hard to tell where the seam is. All right, so let's go ahead and put this gorgeous beauty aside. And let's get started. The first thing I want to do is go ahead and take this apart. And with all of my other, when I get bead mixes and strands, especially strands that have the same beads, I will section them off. So I will get them all sectioned off here. And now the ice cream truck is going by. So I'll get them sectioned off, and I just kind of put them in a little bit of an order. And this helps me with knowing how many I have of what, and like these gorgeous, I love those rhinestones. I didn't use them in my first bracelet, and so I do plan on using them in this one here, because we're going to make a component at the end of one of the strands similar to what I did in the pink and silver. So let's go ahead and just get these all taken apart. I think these are all the same. Those are gorgeous, beautiful. And I think I'm only going to use those in that one piece at the end. So let's go ahead and get these all sectioned off. These little guys are cute. The little guys are going to be dangles. So we'll have dangles. Okay, so I've already got a few made up. I was not recording, thought I was, but I've made up a few, but I'm going to go ahead and make up some more. And what I did was I just cut some 3-inch pieces, and it's a little bit much for the single beads, but then you have enough room to do your wire wrapping. So I'm going to come in a little bit at 1 inch or so. I'm going to go ahead and give it that 90-degree angle bend. I'm going to come in with my round nose pliers and go to that mark. So I'm going to go to that mark so that all my loops are about the same size. I'm going to form that wire over the top barrel, and then this is what it looks like. I need this to be going out that way. So in order to get that, I have to let go. I'm holding on, I just let go and I rotate my wrist. Now my palm is facing the table. Okay, so pretend it's still facing the table, and I'm gonna push it to the back. And if you look at that, it's not centered. And so I just apply a little bit of pressure here just to hold it while I rotate my wrist. Since I need to have that directly linked on to the components here, I'm going to go ahead and before I start wrapping, I'm going to attach it. I'm going to close it up a little bit, get the tip of my chain nose pliers in there, and I'm just going to lock it in place. Then I'm going to grab my bent chain nose pliers and I am going to start wrapping. And there's one, there's two, and we will come around a third time and get that perfect. Okay, so now what I need to do is just come in and trim off that tail. And then I do have something kind of to grab onto, so I don't need my bent chain nose pliers for this side, but I'm just going to tuck in that tail. Then I'm going to go ahead and add my cube bead. Then I'm going to come in not right at the tippy tip. I'm going to come in just a little bit off of the tippy tip because this is 20 gauge, so it's a little bit thicker than my 22 gauge. Plus, this is a crystal bead, and I don't want to get it too tight in there because I don't want to break my bead. Let's go ahead and push to the back, get that a little more centered like so, and go ahead and get that locked in. And I could very easily use my fingers for that length, but I just feel like I have a little bit more control. And we'll go around the third wrap. Go around to the back, give it a little bit of a trim. And I'm not in there too tightly, so that's good. But I am going to come in with my bent chain nose pliers and just get that put in. Now, when I look at that, it looks, when I look at that, it is a little not going in the same direction, which I want it to, so I'll just twist it around. And that doesn't look very centered. So I'm going to go ahead and come in and do it that way and just give it a little bit of a twist. All right, so let's go ahead and cut up another 3-inch or so, 3-inch-ish. It's a little bit less than 3 inches, but we'll make it work. All right, so let's go ahead and come in a little bit above halfway. 90-degree angle bend. We're gonna go to our mark, over the top barrel, push to the back, and that looks centered. Open it up a little bit. I'm probably gonna have just enough for 3 loops. 3 wraps around. So I'll show you what I do when I get close to the end like this and I have to rely on that tail end that I'm using right here to go all the way around. Sorry about that, to go all the way around. And we will. So we're gonna do this. Then what I do is I just put my wrapping pliers and I just kind of just squeeze, let go, squeeze, let go. And so here I'm going around just like so. And squeeze. And it ends up being almost exactly where, I used exactly the right amount. And then I just come in and finish it off with the tip of my chain nose pliers. Okay, let's go ahead and get this little guy on there. And come in just off the tippy tip, give it that bend, come into my place, go over, rotate, push to the back, rotate, lock into place, and do our 3 wraps. 1. I feel like my camera is set up like way far away from me. So if I've been off camera, I am so sorry. I can't see the camera because it's up above. And so I can't see the angle that I'm at. And I feel like I have to be way away from my face this time. Okay, so I'm going to come in here and give it a little bit of, there you go. So I know that I have just this, and this is an open jump ring, so I know that I don't have to worry about remembering to link it on, but I can already tell that I've got a long ways to go still. And so, I mean, this isn't even, this is 5 inches laying this way, so it's probably 4-inch bracelet so far. So I'm going to go ahead, we're going to make this, then let's go ahead and do another set of these guys here. And then let's see, so we'll do that, and then we will just do maybe a single one of these, maybe with those, maybe not. We might just do a single of that, or yeah, we'll just do a single. We're gonna go ahead and do that, and then we'll do a single one of these. I'm just thinking here. That would be even cute. So we'll see how far we go. All right, so let's go ahead and come down little over 1 inch. Okay. And make sure we get, oh, so I left a lot of gap right there. Okay, so let's come in. Close it off. And lock it in place. Again, I feel like I'm totally off camera. And go like that. I might have to take huge chunks of this video out if I'm off camera. Okay, so I'm going to continue going on, and I will, when I get to the end, I will come back. I am down to the end, so I'm going to go ahead, and I wanted to have about 6 1/4 or so that I can, this is a little less. This is actually 1/4 of an inch. So I wanted to go about to like 6 1/2 inches. So I thought, well, if I went to 6 1/4 on the bracelet portion here that I'm wrapping, that I would be good with my length. Let's go ahead and come in and give that a trim. I'm going to come in with my bent chain nose pliers and just get that tucked in at the tippy tip. There we go. And I think that is about, I have my Fandy Dandy Faithful here, and that will be perfect. That will actually be perfect for about 6 3/4. I think I was going for 6 1/2, but I don't think my wrist is 6 1/2. I think it's more, I like having a little bit of room too, because if I want to stack some other like beaded bracelets or something here, I want to have room for everything to fit on here accordingly. All right, so now we have everything all done. Okay, so now what I need to do is I need to get this onto here. However, though, I do want a couple of dangles. So I'm going to do my dangles just like so. Thread that on there. And these I'm probably going to go close to the tippy tip they feel a little, they do feel a little strong. So, and I don't want my loop to be as much. So I'm just gonna go around like so. Same concept, doing wire wrap loop here, same concept. And I'm sure I have enough to grab, but you know, when I do it like this, I feel like I'm not getting it as tight, and I don't feel like I have a good control over it. I guess I do. All right, so I just proved myself wrong. Now I just want to tuck in that little piece, and I'm going to do that by holding on to that with my bent chain nose pliers and then coming in this way. And the reason why I'm doing this first is I'm going to attach these directly onto the jump ring. I'm not going to use additional jump rings like I did in the other one. So I have this all out here. We have our lobster clasp, and we're just going to go ahead, and I already opened up the jump ring because it's really hard to see where the split is, and so I always just kind of mess it up a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and come in here like so, and I'm going to thread these guys on, as well as my lobster clasp, and I did that really in a very weird way here, but okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and close it up, and again, look, you can't even see where the slit is. Can you see where the slit is? I can't see where the slit is. You probably can't also too, because it's probably really super blurry. And there we have it. There is our cute little bracelet. So we have two. We have the blue and we have the pink. So please give this video a huge thumbs up if you like it. Comment, I love to see what everybody has to say, and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And until next time, have a good one.